Hey everybody, it's Steve, and today we will be looking at our Focus project, a game that's baked into ridetheteacups.com. Lots of CSS shenanigans going on inside of this, so I want to get right into it. You can view this for yourself on ridetheteacups.com /game/focus. You just start at the homepage, go into the cool games section here, select Focus from the list of games, and here we are. Very basic tutorial of how to play. Hopefully this is expanded by the time you're looking at it and looks a little nicer, but it works for what I need it for now. Just some very basic instructions on what is the goal of the game, how to actually play the game, and then scoring the points. All of that's done just with just straight markdown inside of my custom-made modal component that I have. I'm not using React Bootstrap or anything like that. It's my custom modal that floats over the top of it. You can also get rid of the modal by clicking outside of the box anywhere. It doesn't have to be the close button. So just show you again outside. So we can get in and play. My CSS button for my big play. The object is I have 30 seconds to figure out what character this is that I'm trying to take a picture of. So it'll be a Disney character. I have these four choices. It could be Slightly, it could be Ariel, it could be Cinderella or Thor. That is looking like Slightly based on the ears. Ta-da! Got it in 18 seconds. Hooray. So, and then let me actually just get into the, I'll take off my video so you can kind of see. It's set with a basic set timeout. All of these are straight, regular text characters with lots of CSS. SVG borders so that as I resize the screen you can see it differently. As we go, let's see, is that a Tigger, a Mickey Mouse, Minnie, or Ariel? That's looking kind of like a Mickey. And then the flash, a little bit of a sound effect you can see. It's keeping track of my score, of course, with state as well. Keeps adds my time in there. I got 2 in a row, so a little bit of a bonus for getting everything right. So it's keeping track of everything that I did there. And then just to get into this a little bit better, let me actually open up my inspector. You can see it actually auto-scaled everything correctly. I can get into all kinds of different modes. So here's my mobile mode where everything is horizontal. I can actually see that is Tigger. Taking seconds left. Still taking up the same amount of screen space even though I'm on a much smaller screen, so it has been responsive for me. I could turn this sucker vertical and play it this way as well. It's moved everything to the top here. Let's see, and it's still trying to focus it. Something's going wide. I'm gonna, nope, that is not Ursula. That is Jasmine. So I get a big on my score. And it's moved all of the other elements down here. Still put them in their correct places, and I can do things like go to the iPad. And everything down here, and obviously it's resizing my SVGs a little bit unusually. I think this is an artifact of Chrome, so because as I look it up on my phone, it's looking fine. Sometimes the Chrome DevTools does this as you're playing with it on the fly. Lots of times, I'll make sure I look into that also. But just to see, and then it brings me back. I got a score of 905 on that one. But the basic way that it's setting everything up, let me turn that off here, and I can see it's not really set up for a super wide periscope view of a page, but I can get, I'm actually on my production account, so I won't be able to see it here, but you'll be able to see it just takes care of everything in the state itself. I can inspect into these individual elements and see. I have different wrappers for each of the overlays as far as where the individual camera pieces go. I have the bottom part of the camera as an SVG. Obviously the top part of the camera is an SVG. You can see it on the hover up here. And then each of these individual pieces. So you've got the right side. There's the center part that's just the actual camera modal layered over the top of it. And then the black bottom, of course, is just the black spot that's underneath here, giving me room for my score, my counter, and everything. Grab just a couple of fonts from Google Fonts up here. So that's, again, very basic, couple of very basic hover effects. Everything disappears based on the timer, based on their React components that are going through. And then what's actually happening inside the let's see, there's the light flash that's going to have an opacity of 0 until it actually sets up correctly. It's a lot of fun too. So let me get into the character itself. Let's see if I can find the character itself. Oh, it's going to load. Oh, you'll also see it's loading a custom background and foreground character each individual time as well. And it's actually hiding it from me. That was the idea, that it would be difficult to actually ascertain. You can also see it's gathering different options for you to select from. It will never give you an option of a character that you have already guessed or of a character that has already shown up correctly. So it has a little bit of logic in how it's selecting those options for you. And then it's changing the background and the foreground correctly. The character itself is actually working on a CSS filter element and gradually changing it in and out. You can see the background is using that same filter. As the background gets more in focus, the foreground gets less in focus. It's on a randomizer. That is Winnie the Pooh. Thanks very much. So that it's actually working a little bit as a camera with a high f-stop. So as you are changing where you're actually looking, as far as your zoom and focus, it's going to change the foreground and background appropriately for you. And then it'll keep track of your scores. Eventually this will have a high score table. Maybe it already does by the time you're watching this. That'll be coming up when people can actually register and log in for user accounts instead of just my admin account. But that's a look at Focus under the hood and what all is happening. I hope that's been helpful. Thanks so much for watching and spending some time, and we will see you later.